So hi there. I am from Guwahati, Assam. I did my education back there in Assam. I did BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering, and then got campus placed into. Now I've been working here for almost 3 years now. I am actually a tester, automation manual tester. So I joined August 2021. Then I got trained into testing domain and all, and then a bit of Java and Selenium. And then within 2 weeks, I was moved into a project into C# Selenium. And post that, I have knowledge of Scrum processes. I have done testing on I am an end-to-end tester here, in knowledge on diverse testing background. So like you can say jack of all trades, but master of none. So I have done a bit of Selenium, API mobile application testing, API testing, using REST, and then CRM based testing, SQL database based testing, and I have also helped around teams with performance testing, so I have knowledge on that as well. So I am currently serving an insurance domain client. This is one of the leading insurance domain client based in UK as well as in this world. Currently, I am working into a project which is many might be familiar with it. You can find an application in Play Store under the name as Blua. So that is the application that I have extensively tested, and the API calls for those applications using CRM and database has been also tested by me. So yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you have touched to measure of all the testing areas that you could work in an IT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in-depth knowledge, but like with experience, I am hoping that would also come. But I have done a bit of testing in all. So like I started as manual regression, then I was pushed into digital Scrum for Selenium automation. Then again, I was rolled back to CRM Scrum for CRM-based testing, integrating them. And then again to manual automation, manual testing with desktop-based applications. So SQL and all, I have good hands-on practice on them. So since I have got very good functional knowledge, I have been promoted to as an end-to-end tester in this organization.
So, how do you take this as good thing for you, or it's a bad not in, but yeah, it's okay part wherein not able to master in one area and continuously going in different areas and you are not able to concentrate on one thing. Is it you take this as a good thing, or what do you think about it?
So I have had this discussion with my manager actually when she actually pushed me from one tower to another, from digital to CRM to Swift and then integration tower and all. So back when I was being pushed, it was very hard. I struggled a lot because the functionality, the functional things, but then you are just signed up for another automation testing task and all. It was hard to understand, but then now currently I have been trained into end-to-end testing. So I believe she had got a good vision for me. She had seen within me that I had very capabilities of absorbing knowledge, and that has actually helped me. Back then, I used to hate it because 6-7 months I have used Selenium and a bit of APM, and then just in a moment, tomorrow she might say that from Monday you are moving to CRM automation. You have to practice a bit of CRM automation, watch the KT over the weekend, and then you will be golden. So it was difficult at that time, but looking back at that time, I am very happy that I did so, because end-to-end testing is we have a very few end-to-end testers in this whole testing domain, and being a part of it, like knowing the functionality inside out, from how the registration and the data starts from SQL and then gets pushed into CRM and then pushed into digital environment, and the changes on the digital environment gets pushed into CRM and then pushed into SQL and the API calls within them. So knowing the whole process actually helps me know the project and the testing that I'm doing. So it's not like I'm automating this website and I don't know the backend things part of it. Now I know everything, what is happening, why is happening, and where the data is getting pushed or where it is breaking. Everything I have knowledge of. So I'm very happy that I have come this far.
Okay, okay. Nice. So now you love doing challenges, means taking up more
Yes,
challenges.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll start with few of the things like so you have
Mhm.
done manual testing as well as the automation testing as well, right? In both the
Yes,
areas.
that's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Okay. So so can you explain me the QA process or the STLC phases in your day-to-day work and
Mhm.
how those work in? Yeah.
Mhm. Is it okay if I not go through the SDLC process that is like
Yeah.
bookish? I'll just explain my Scrum process. Is it okay with
Yeah, yeah,
that?
sure,
Are
sure.
you okay
Yeah,
with that?
not an issue.
Sure. So our Scrum is based on Azure DevOps. So first client requirements comes in, and epic is created, and then that epic is divided into small sections for PBI. So like if it is an integration phase development, it will be an integration PBI on the same board, not on different board. On the same board, there will be integration PBI, CRM PBI, and then digital PBIs, and then mobile automation, mobile digital, mobile in as in like digital comes in two, so like web UI and then mobile UI. So it gets divided into PBIs and all, and on those PBIs our Scrum Master would take a call like sprint planning session, and then on those sprint planning session we testers are not usually involved, but now since I am as an end-to-end tester, so some of the testers get into the sprint planning session. Most of the time it's the developer that gets involved in the sprint planning session in our Scrum. So on the sprint planning session, the developer will discuss all the details on how to tackle and what comes first. So like the integration services and the CRM services needs to be developed first, and then the digital UI level using Figma or Miro UI, they will be integrated together, and then it would be rolled over to testers. And based on the estimation, we will provide estimations and all, and we'll create task for like test case, test analysis, test authoring, then test case creation, test case review, and then test execution on smoke and UAT environment, and then regression testing if the functionality is like hitting some older functionality, that would be there, and then business sign off demo sessions are there. And then if there is any bug, then on the same PBI with the test case, a bug will be raised. This is for manual process, obviously. A bug will be raised, and the bug will be like assigned. We will discuss the. I'll like if a bug is really, raised, then I'll publish all the reproduction steps and the logs for that on the bug, and then a developer will be assigned to it, like based on which functionality is breaking. If integration side, integration logic app or a APG developer will be assigned. If it's a CRM, then a CRM developer, and then so and so forth, digital or SQL developer and so forth. So the bug is then fixed. If there's a bug, I'll retest it. After retesting, I'll publish the results that these are the expected results. We will create another demo session based on the severity of the bug. If it's a technical sign up, we will take it from the solution designer. If it's a major bug that is breaking everything, then obviously the business needs to get involved, and then again take the business sign up for it. Then publish the root cause analysis for that bug, close that bug, and then all these things, when it's done, the sprint is done, the planning session, the PI planning session is done, the PI phases are finished, then we'll go to sprint retrospective. We will discuss what are the good and bad things, which team specifically has lagged. So it never comes over me because I'm an end-to-end tester. I am like part of no team and part of all team at the same time. So on the retrospective session, I am the safest person, and then people are throwing balls and fires at everyone that the integration services were too laggy, were too non-responsive, or the CRM services were too much impactful and all. And then there will be client demo session with the business demo session. Since it's insurance domain, we will do demo session with the actuaries as well to implement and make them explain the functionalities. That is usually done by the end-to-end tester or the lead developer who is who has like good grasp on the functionalities and all. So that's the process that we follow on our Scrum. So the
Okay.
complete agile iteration process.
Okay. Okay. So since you go by the agile methodology
Mhm.
you have been saying, so how many team members do you have in a team of for the QA?
So so for QA we have this test lead, and including me, five other testers.
Acha. Okay.
So one for each. So like integration tester one, CRM tester, and then SQL tester, and then digital app tester, and then one just automation tester who will just automate the regression testing if the other testers are not free, and then he would also do the code cleanup stuffs and all. And then there is like we also have a desktop application, so we have two testers for that. The desktop application is quite big with too many functionalities. So yeah.
So So do you know what is a zero sprint in your line in Agile?
The hardening sprint, or might also be called as zero sprint sometimes. So sprint one, sprint two, we have this iteration for different sprints. The zero sprint is the start of the, like just after the PI planning session, we have the zero sprint of the hardening sprint.
Okay. So how will you differentiate between the agile testing methods and other testing methods?
Sorry, can you please come again?
So
Agile?
can you differentiate between the agile testing methods and other testing methods?
Yeah. So uh, back on when I just started with testing, I studied about many testing methods like waterfall, agile, spiral, and then like there are many iteration model and all. But I believe there are two specific models of testing: the waterfall and the agile one, or the iteration one. So the iteration one, as I said, like the one epic is coming, and it is divided into different PBIs based on which tower, or based on functionality also, based on like the project. If it is a very big functionality, then it will be like divided based on functionality. So if we have like the whole claims and pre-auth process, so it will be having claims, pre-auths, providers, procedure codes. So like functionality based division is there. And then if it's like a specific functionality, it will be divided into tower based, so like digital tower, CRM tower, API, APG tower, and integration towers, sorry, and the SQL part or the database part. So that's what happens in integration and iteration, sorry. And it proceeds from there. So the development starts simultaneously, and it iterates over a period of time. So equivalently, everyone is like pushed, like the whole Scrum team is at work at the same time. All the developers will be working, and they will be communicating with each other, and the testers will be like shadowing the development that is happening. If it is a previous functionality, in our Scrum it happens that if it is an old functionality, then it will be like sometimes we also give insight to the developer key, this might break. If you are doing these changes, this might break. Just take permission from the business, or take a written communication from the business that we are adamant to do this change, and it might impact other changes as well. So like every team is working together. And then there is waterfall model, which is like step by step. One procedure is finished and the other procedure starts. Then it is finished, then it starts. And these waterfall and iteration are sometimes clubbed up into other models. So like spiral, if you say. So spiral is like, from the name itself, it's a spiral. So it's the same waterfall model, but it goes into a spiral form. So like development, testing, development, testing, development, testing. It's like a spiral formation. So it's the waterfall model in spiral form. And then iteration model into agile. So like all the Scrum teams coming together. So it's a clubbed up process. So if you ask the question that,
so which process do you think is more fruitful or
efficient?
More efficient? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously the agile process, because the whole team is coming into picture, working together simultaneously. So as in waterfall model, the integration service will be developed, then it will be pushed, and then the CRM services will be picked up. If it breaks, it goes again to the integration services. So that is a very lengthy process. The project release also delays, but the iteration model or the agile model is faster. So like everything will be pushed together, everything works together. It's like a team process, not like a single tower or single person process. So obviously iteration or agile is I think is the best.
Okay. So so do you report when you in agile, supposingly in a certain sprint, if you are not able to achieve the target, or the respective stories are not completed in time, so how those are taken up in next sprint, and what are they called upon? What that sprint is? Yeah.
Totally depends on the story actually. So in our team, what we do in our whole project, what we do is if any Scrum team, be it any model, so integration and CRM doesn't require that much time to develop. It is like an API process, and CRM also like Dynamic 365. It happens like swiftly. But then SQL and digital takes time. The digital UI needs setup and all, so it takes time. If it is like long run process, and like there are three instances that I would say that the application that I say, the registration journey is being intensively tested from our team, and that has been like delayed for 5-6 months. So if there is a functionality that is like long gone and it is being delayed for far too long, then obviously like 4 or 5 months delay is there. 1 month delay won't even hurt anyone, so they can be pushed into the new sprint. If there is a functionality that requires sudden changes, then an MTR patch release or an MTR can be raised for that specific functionality, and it can be released within the sprint planning session of different sprint. And during the sprint, like we are working in sprint 1, and then it can be released into sprint 2 with the tag of sprint 1, MTR and patch releases and all. And if let's say then if the functionality is an intermediate one, it's a big functionality but it won't like, it's not bothering the business people, so we usually roll this over to the next sprint, and then it is picked up from where it has like paused or stopped. Usually the development part is done, and we testers, we don't have any respect, so like we have to work on weekends also just to deliver the products. So this is a thing that has been practiced, and we have raised this with our scrum master that the developers would take 2-3 weeks. If 4 weeks is allotted to something, 3 weeks will be taken for development and 1 week for testing, which is not accurate. Like extensive
So do
testing
you
is not
think
done, so
that
like
it is a perfect planning then, since you are saying?
no, it is obviously no. It is not a perfect planning where development and testers should be given equal opportunities to shine as well as perform their work. But obviously, there is pressure from the business, and like no offense to the developers as well. They are also new. They are also starting up. So like out of the 4 developers, 3 of them have just started as freshers. So it's sometimes hard to correlate. So we also understand. So when they, what we have done is since like the development takes time, when they do sanity and unit testing after the development, they will do it on their local system, right? The dev environment. On their local. So what we do, we create some scenarios that let's say we have 10 scenarios, out of which we will take 3 or 4 scenarios to the developer and say that आप जल्दी से एक sanity run करके दो. These are the few scenarios just to check if they are running or not. अगर हुआ, then we will not raise a bug. It will save your effort. It will save our effort. It will save your face as well. So we do cooperation and coordination in this way to just save efforts and time. And that's
So
the
this should
beauty of
be,
agile methods. So
so
yeah.
so this should be a part of your process, or this should be an uh, a decision taken as required.
This is actually a part of agile process where the developers and testers should actually work side by side. Now the intensity of what we are working with, like developers do their sanity and unit checks
But
on their side, but we
no,
know
no,
the
but
testers know the functionality well.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that comes in your planning part then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that comes in our planning part. We cannot like the business is very adamant to process the agile process by heart. So we don't discuss it on the planning session, but we do it on the back end just to assist the developers on their work, and they also assist us with their testing and all. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So okay, uh, from the acceptance testing, when what is
Mhm.
this acceptance testing about, and when it is it done, and what are the things about it?
Okay. So in our organization, we do acceptance testing just after smoke testing. So once the code is being deployed on smoke, we do sanity and base test on smoke, and then the intensive regression and the intensive hard scenarios with different data sets are performed on the UAT environment or user acceptance environment. And we do like hardcore data intensive testing is done on that. If so, let's say if we have 10 scenarios, 2 or 3 will be performed for sanity checks on the smoke. We'll take sign off on that, and then all the 10 scenarios will be extensively performed with different types of data sets on the UAT area. And obviously, regression is also done on the UAT side.
Okay. So since you have worked on Java as well, can you share your screen and write a program for me in Java?
I can write the pseudocode. Let me share my screen. I can write the pseudocode, but will it be okay if I do on C# because Java I just work for like
Oh yeah, that's fine.
1 or 2 weeks, and then
Yeah, not an issue. Language is not an issue.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. please go ahead. Should I open Notepad if that's okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, please.
yeah. Yeah. So you need to find common elements between two array list.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Between two?
between two array
Sorry.
lists.
Array list. Okay. Um, Array list. Okay. Okay. So let's say we have array one, sorry, and then array two, right? Yeah. So let's say we have A, B, C, D, and then A, B, 1, 2. Yep. So we have this, we can take user input or the like from the console, anything. So we will run the for loop, for case. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll for loop and I'll take like I is equal to 0, I equal to 0, and then I is equal to array length 1. Where is I? Sorry, I is equal to array length. Sorry, I is less than array length. So I can't get confused with the less than sign. Okay, I is less than array length and I plus plus. So I iterate I plus plus. Yeah. And here what I'll do is yeah, take another for loop with, let's say, j is equal to 0, and then j less than, this one will be array 1, sorry, array 1, and this one will be, I have assumed that both are of same length. Okay, that won't make a difference, but like still, like for assumption's sake, you create the shorter code, and then j plus plus. So this will iterate me through the arrays, and then now what I'll do is yeah, now what I'll do is array elements. So like array 1 starts from I equal to array 2 starts from j. So that would equate if array 1 is equal to array j. So one by one it will traverse, and then no, it will traverse like equate all of them. So I need to equate array 1 with array j, and then I need to, oh, okay, so it will take array 1 as 0, and then for all the j elements 0, 1, 2, 3, it will equate, and then let's say you want the elements if it is true, like I'll take the assertion part. If it is true, then return like assert. Since I'm in testing, so I'll use this assertion as you. If this returns true, then what I'll do is sorry. If this returns true, I'll publish array to j, whatever comes in here. All right. So this will be published, and then I'll push like this one in try and catch, just in case it fails. So I'll try this, and if there is an exception, I'll fail this. Sorry. So yeah. I'll catch this and say that if it fails somehow, like the array 1 is null or something like that, then I'll say that check your array list or something, like the program has failed, check your array list or something, console.writeLine, console.writeLine. I'll push it as, sorry, as the array list is empty or something, array empty, or it has executed with error or something like that, and that should about do my process of the checking both arrays. So does this look good to you? Sorry.
So do you think this code can be optimized more?
That is a very good question. That is where I get stuck with optimization.
Okay.
Um, mm, for loop has a greater complexity, so we can use for each for optimization.
Okay.
But I would like to use for here instead of I'll use for each here, and then I'll use for here. So that might optimize a bit. And then I'll put the assertion of like this one. This will iterate every time, right? Try and catch will iterate every time. So I'll put try and catch outside this for loop block and just check if the arrays are not null. So like arrays are completely filled, because it will like execute without equating, right? So I'll put try and catch outside this for loop, like this for loop, and then I'll put the assertion here. So if it is true, it returns the array to elements. So
Okay.
I would optimize this way. There might be different ways as well. So this is how I think I would do.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So you have worked
Yeah.
on SQL as well, right?
Sorry, come again.
You have worked on SQL language as well, right? You write SQL queries,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So can you
Yeah.
write a query to
Mhm.
insert a record in a table?
Sorry, SQL. I am working on read. Sorry, write operations. Read operations. I am not that familiar with, because like I haven't got any formal training or something on SQL. So our database tester left halfway in our Scrum, so I had to improvise and understand SQL from her, and then the thing. So I don't quite remember those. So those SQL tags for read operation, sorry, write operation, but read operation I'm very familiar with it. So like if
Okay.
you want me to extract any like
Yeah. So
data from the database, I'm
okay.
very comfortable
So
with that.
okay. So you can means how to select all the even or all records in a table.
That is something that I have never worked on. So like we get data sets, so like we get registrations and all. So we use joins and all. I'm not sure if there is there might be a specific thing like as we have order by and where and something clauses. So I'm sure there is, but I'm not aware. I don't recall the exact SQL like SQL word for that to get all the even elements.
Okay. Okay. So you have also
So
mentioned about
basic
the.
SQL I have knowledge. So
Okay.
joins and all I can, if I know the database well, I can get any data from any table. I can create joins and also, yeah, I'm familiar
Okay,
with
so
that.
similar question for your the code that you have written. So can you
Mhm.
select common records from two table
Common records
from
for
two tables?
two tables. Okay. All right. Two tables. Okay. Let's say we have select. Okay, we will take the select distinct. Two tables distinct. Okay. Common records. Okay. So one table has registration number found, and the other table has registration. So yeah. So if I create distinct and then join the table, it will give me the common entities for those. Does that answer your query? So let's say like let me build
No, no,
this.
you
So
answer me.
let's
No, no, you answer me the question. We will decide it later if
okay,
it was correct or not. Okay. So you
okay,
just
sure,
answer
sure.
the things. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So common elements from two tables. So okay. So select distinct, say serial number, serial uh, number dot so it is from let's say table subject subject, and then another table, let's say the full roll number list. So let's say registered, okay, registered. Let's say again this is this has name, and so serial number would be common in both of them. So I'm getting subject list, so like the mark sheet list, and the registration table will have all the names and the serial number, and I'll put inner join on both of the table. Let's say serial number is the common table from, so I'll drop it into from, let's say registration table, registration reg. So inner join, so registration, so subject table sub on, um, so sub dot serial number equal to reg dot serial number, where common na. So so let's say it has all the subject name as well. So I'll put let's say subject name sub dot subject name. So where sub dot subject name, sorry, subject name, like let's say percentile maths. So it will select all the maths that is common on this table, and
Okay, okay,
it
that's
will
fine.
execute.
Okay, my next thing will be you have worked on API as well, right?
Yes, I have worked on it.
Okay, so can you tell me the common protocols used in API testing?
Sayed, can you speak up? Your voice is very mellow.
What are the common protocols that are in API testing?
Protocols as in, okay. So are you talking about manual or automation?
Uh, Protocols in the sense, you are uh, what are the calls, means the API uses to get the data, or
Okay.
in what all areas you can use it, like so uh, the protocols in the sense, the API has the URL has what if you divide the URL into, so you can define what is the protocol in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So so I'm not sure if I understood your question, but okay, since you asked about URL, so like, are you asking about the different parts of URL, so like the domain name and the query parameters and all?
Okay, fine. That's fine. Okay, so so you have used SOAP API, SOAP API as well, right? And the
So
rest.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So
uh
uh,
And the rest as well.
yes.
So can you explain me what is the REST API in?
So let me explain with the difference between what is SOAP and all. So REST
No,
SOAP
no, no,
API is like
no, no,
a
just
integrated.
no, no. Just explain me the rest, because we are running short of
So
time. Okay, yeah.
so it is like representational state transfer protocol, REST API. So it is not just a API method, but it is a complete procedure through which API calls are made between server to servers. So we use JSON bodies for it, and then we define the query parameters and header parameters into it, and then we get data or make changes into the server side using different methods like get, put, post, patch, update, delete, and all. So it's like it's not a specific API, but it's like a procedure. It's like a as Selenium is a framework, it would be a procedure to actually integrate API systems into two or more servers.
Okay. That's it from my side. We'll just
Mhm.
quickly jump to the feedback. That's the last part of our interview right now. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So, starting from the your the discussions, we touched base to all the parts. So, from the
Mhm.
feedback point of view, what I will tell you is, be a master in some part. Uh, if you don't
Mhm.
be a jack for all, that's fine, but be a master in one thing at least. It can be anything.
Yes.
Okay, not specific to any part, but it can be a master to
Mhm.
anything, because a company will always expect you to be something that's you are like a person who they can be reliable on. You can stop
Mhm.
sharing your screen, okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a, so you should be at least master in one thing. It's good you are touching
Mhm.
base to everything, okay, but
Mhm.
um, you should be master in one thing. Then secondly is uh, uh, according to the answers that you've given, so agile is a methodology, that's a good part, that's been all organization are using it. But agile is a part, is every product or every team or every uh, product needs a different environment, okay.
Mhm.
Every product can't fit in into agile, everything can't put be it in waterfall. So any methodology is not good or bad, okay. It is a set that you that will be required at the time when it is required, okay. So
Mhm.
be in that way, okay. Second is you need to articulate your answers in a small examples. Interviewer might get confused over your explanatory answers, so you need to be stuck to a very simple examples to it wherein you are describing something, okay. Now when we asked about the sprint and all the plannings and all that thing, so when I asked if some sprint is you are not able to complete the things, that sprint things goes to next sprint, and the sprint burnout is a term for it, wherein that comes in, okay, wherein like extra things are taken up upon the team and expected to be completed as per the priority.
Mhm.
Now secondly, for the SQL and C sharp, a simple thing was you will be using a intersect keyword method in C sharp to find the common elements between the array. And for and the SQL, intersect was the keyword that will give you the okay. So
Common elements. Okay.
yeah, that could have saved your time, and just it will be a fast thing to do,
Mhm.
okay. Now when I asked regarding the protocols used in API, uh, so it was an HTTP protocol or a different protocols you might be doing, because REST API uses the
Ah,
HTTP protocol,
yes. Yeah.
okay. So
Mhm.
these are the things. So in case and
Okay, so what I was saying is, don't tell
Mhm.
about the bad planning area or what your managers expect you to uh, do on the over the weekends or something like this, because this gives a bad reputation in front of others. Okay, so don't ever tell them what's the bad part about it, but always tell
Mhm.
them what is the good part and what's the learning area, because that gives you
Mhm.
that shows that you are giving some reasons for the things those are not happening in the way that were expected, because it's
Mhm.
always expected that we should be giving the solutions and not the results, okay, going forward.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it can be any, if your company's wrong policy, it can be wrong culture that you're following in, but
Mhm.
that should not be highlighted in any way, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you can always say that what can be improved in a way, but you should not be
Yeah.
highlighting the bad part, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, that's it from my side actually. And you should be learning every aspect of it, whether it's Java,
Mhm.
SQL, and
Mhm.
sorry, C sharp, SQL, and Selenium based or API based. So you should be when you're mentioning this into your CV, that makes the interviewer that you are knowing all these things. Okay, any part that's missing, then it's like something you have mentioned but you don't. Okay, so only mention or make it very clear that what level you are. You can mention in your resume that you can put some ratings to your skills. Okay, the SQL skill
Yes.
or Selenium skill, C sharp coding skills. So that gives an interviewer the impression that what actually are your good parts and what are your learning parts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that will make you better representation in front of others. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.